Hi also, welcome to 1 Minute Finance. In this video, I'm going to share fundamental analysis of three stocks which I feel has a very strong potential to grow, and I won't be surprised in next 5 years if this stocks becomes 4 to 5 times. This can be a multi-bagger pick for me. So let us see after 5 years what happens to this stock. But do watch this video completely because in every 1 minute that you will spend onto this video, you will learn something. There will be something takeaway for you. So do watch this video till the end and subscribe only if you feel that you have learned something and you are enjoying watching more of such analysis. So what's in it for you? We will discuss definitely three stocks. These three stocks will be backed with data. There won't be any assumptions, okay, into these things. We will see the data for all of these three companies one by one, and we will also see the rationale as to why do we think that this stock can go well. Let us go ahead. A general disclaimer that the information shared over here is only for educational purpose. I'm not a SEBI registered financial advisor. The first stock, the first pick which I liked is BLS International. Understand the model of this business. They are into providing visa services and also there is some digital services. But the main prominent growth which I feel is coming in this visa services. So visa services currently considering FY25 revenue, it is almost 75% of their revenue portion is coming because of visa and consular services. So globally when passengers are traveling, they require visa so they can get it from BLS International. And secondly, is their digital services, which is just 25% of the business. Business is quite strong because they are present in more than 70 plus different countries in which they are currently operating, having a tie-up with 46 plus different government bodies, present with more than 19 years of experience, so long experience that they have. Let us understand why this company I think will grow. So I like this company while analyzing because of this information over here. As you can see here, there is a big operational leverage that is happening in this company. Look at this information. In the compared to 2024 to 2025 revenue, the revenue has grown by 30%. But if you look at their cost of service in providing this particular revenue, it is almost stagnant to 964 to 986. So with the same cost, they are able to deliver more. So that means there is an operational leverage in this business. So now this stock can become a multi-bagger stock only if they sell more and more. Okay. So we want a proof and we will see that of how their revenue can actually grow. Relatively, because of this, what has happened is if you look at their profit margin have approximately grown by 65%. Let us see where we can see this information. See, in Visa, agar koi Visa services provide karta hai, in Visa, there are only two ways to grow this particular revenue into the business. One is the number of applications has to grow, and second is the revenue of that particular application has to grow. Now, if you look at their 2024 relative data to 2025, their number of applications in Q4 itself has grown by 38%, and in 2024 to 2025 by 31% their number of applications has grown. And not just application, if you look at the net revenue per applications, मतलब ये लोग एक बार किसी का visa process करते हैं, so they have some revenue from that application, right? So their revenue has also grown from 200 and 2146 to 2900. That means this company is able to command a price to its customer and the customer has no option to opt for their visa services. Okay. Now there are many small companies as well in between locally who are present in India and globally as well. But this company is currently in the acquisition mode of acquiring many such companies. If you look at that PPT of the most recent update, which is there of 2025, you will find that this company is making many such acquisitions. So through inorganic growth, this company is growing and very well. Now it has proven the success of growing by the applications and also by the amount over here. Now, ये तो ठीक है, but the interesting part to understand is what is the growth forward for this company. Now, if you see this information here, this is where I really liked this company. This is the global. See, visa services कभी increase होंगे if we ask. This will grow only when passengers travel more and more between the countries and other countries. Now, if you see their the global air passenger data released by International Air Transport Association. Now, in 2020, we know what happened. That was the COVID period. Now, during this COVID period, there was a large decline on this particular three metrics. What is this metrics? We will try to understand it in a simple way. So first one over here is revenue passenger kilometer. That means actual number of people who are flying. So initially, it was at close to 28 million, 28 28 lakh of passengers who were traveling in 2020, which dropped drastically, and now it has gone up to 87 lakh passengers traveling, approximately number of people who are traveling. So it is coming to a pre-COVID level. Similarly, active seats per kilometer, which is the total seats airlines offer, that was also dropped, which is also coming to a pre-COVID level, almost there. Okay, and similarly, even passenger load factor over here, which means how full the planes are, that is depicting that during COVID it was only 64% of the planes were full, but now it has gone to 83 percentage. That means almost 80 to 83 percentage of the flights are going full. So this really gives us an information that before COVID, the what was the traveling mood of the globally public, that is again coming back and it has come to its peak. So अगर COVID में के time पे मान लो किसी passenger as in global air passenger market was here, during COVID it had a drop, and now it has again come to this particular point and it is expected to go up. Now how do we really confirm this point? This point we get to understand from this information. This is very important slide, so do watch this information and understand this information gradually. Sorry, this point over here. So if you see the total number of aircrafts which were delivered in 2017 to 2023, which was 2 years after COVID, was 8,151, which is expected to grow to total number of deliveries which are expected between 2024 to 2030 is 12,864. Okay, this is almost a 58 percentage increase from the available flight capacity. So अगर 8,000 flights है aircraft है globally, okay, which will go to say 12,000. So ये additional 4,000, मतलब approximately 50 to 60 percentage of new flights will be coming in. Now this gives a confidence that the airline industry is getting those aircrafts in next 5 to 6 years because they are seeing the growth coming back. And now because if they are seeing the growth coming back means people will travel more, people will travel internationally more means they will require more of visa, and if they require more of this visa, that means there will be more and more and more of demand for this BLS International. That is the reason why I really like this stock. So that was our stock number one. Let us go to stock number two. Now for this company Anant Raj, they are into two different lines of business. Okay, to understand for us, one is the real estate vertical of their business, okay, which is quite growing well, and second is the data center. Sorry, the real estate business is not effectively growing well. When I mean to say, the real bet on this particular stock is data center, and why I will share that also with you. So if you see historically until 2021 till this period, okay, it was only their real estate business. So they acquired a land, they did some commercial and hospital projects, they entered into residential real estate, low cost housing, joint venture with Aditya Birla Group, then they did some demerger. But from 2021 onwards, they started into entering into a new model, new business line, which is data center. We know the data center industry itself is growing and it is expected to continue to grow for next 4 to 5 years. Now, why I'm saying this, let me back this information with some data to you. So we got an understanding clearly for this company. There are two verticals. One is the real estate over here, and second is the data center business. Now, if you see the real estate market, so let's first understand the real estate market in bit of a gist of that. So real estate industry, question for us to know is, as an investor, is it growing? That's the first question that we need to understand. And if it is growing, we are good enough, because my bet on this particular company is not on real estate. My bet would be on data centers. Okay, we will come back. But let's understand this question. Is it growing? So as of now, in 2025, the current real estate market in USD billion is close to 650 billion. Okay, by 2047, which is a long period, but I'm not looking that for next 5 years, we can see it can go to 1,000. So it is an easy approximately 30 to 40 percentage of growth in the real estate industry. So if it is growing, real estate industry is growing, this company will have the benefit, will enjoy the benefit of real estate sector that it serves to. That is the first question. Now, second, what we need to know is what is happening in the data center space. See, currently, overall on the industry terms, as of last year 2025, India का जो data center market है, that is currently crossed a 1 gigawatt of milestone. Okay, so the gigawatt is an energy metric. Data center की जो capacity है, वो storage से नहीं देखा जाता है, like 250 GB and everything. It is seen by the amount of energy that it consumes. So it has crossed a 1 gigawatt milestone. In fact, last 4 to 5 years, from 2019 to 2024, it has grown 3 times. We are in 2025 now, right? So 2024 tak, it was 1 gigawatt. By 2027, it is expected to grow to 1.83 gigawatts. So that means from this 1 to 8.3 gigawatt, that is an 80% growth, and we are currently sitting over here. So we still have 2026 and we still have 2027 to grow, another 2 years for it to grow. So ये 80% growth जो expected है in a data center market, that has not yet reflected as of now. इसमें से definitely out of say 1.83, it might have gone to 1.2, 1.3, but we still have a big room to capture. That's the first thing to know about the data center boom. Secondly, on their presentation, I really like this slide. This slide is explaining something. So we should not be focusing only on the metrics over here, revenue, EBITDA, and PAT, profit after tax. There is some hidden information on this. So let us try to relate this with their profit and loss statement. So if you see this for Anant Raj, we saw here, okay, a slide back. 2021 is the period when they entered into the data center market, correct? So now if you see this, until 2021, it was their real estate. And now here they have entered into data center. Okay. So for this real estate, until that period, okay. So let us see this information. Their revenue, which was 483, which was almost stagnant in the real estate space and which actually declined till that period. But after that, the company entered into a data center space and their revenue from 250 started growing and jumping by a few 85%, 107%, 55, 38% to 2060. Now, there is two information for us to understand. One is the real estate sector growth was not that big. It was growing, but it was not that big. Okay. Secondly, the data center sector was a big move in for them. Now, second, one more information that we get from this understanding and this number is the company itself. See, data center is completely new domain for them. A company has given the confidence to the investors that yes, they understand this particular new industry and the domain, and that's why they could scale up and capture some market share, which can be seen in their revenue numbers. So very clearly that company has shown and proven to the industry and to the investors that they have the knowledge, know-how, experience to capture and run the business and capture the new domain, which is the data center domain. But the question for us always remains that data center domain will grow or not. The answer to that is something we saw over here, which the data center industry itself is expected to grow by another 80%. So they will have a more and more market to capture. So from 2025, that's why we see this number where the revenue has grown. This was mainly because of data center, okay, not because of real estate move. And we are betting on this company for a data center. So this is also one of the stock which you will always find in the list of the data center stocks to buy because this company is tapping on that opportunity. All right, so let's move on to the last stock of today, which is Amber Enterprises. That is our third stock. Amber Enterprises, they are into providing of cooling systems. Okay, if we see, they have three different divisions. First division is a consumer durable division. Second is electronic, and then there is railway subsystems. We will see each of these division one by one. We can clearly see that the maximum of the revenue comes from consumer durable division, then electronic division, and then lastly by railway systems. But let us dig more into it one by one. We will start with a consumer durable division. See, consumer durable division, they have reduced their percentage of the contribution in the revenue from 72% to 43%, which is a good thing, which indicates that the company is diversifying its business into other different segments. We will see more onto that. What I really liked about this company is, if you see here from this slide, they are showing that their consumer durable division, which was mainly for air conditioning and everything, they could foray into different products. Like they could have, they are selling the components and they are also selling the finished good. And that didn't happen overnight. Firstly, management has a direction and a vision to grow their business and capture other markets as well, which is in line with air conditioning. So in FY20 example, they added all of these different new verticals, okay, of product lines within air conditioning space. So as and when you can see, in last 5 to 6 years, they have added multiple such components and finished good lines to their division of consumer durable division. That is the first thing I liked about this company. But on this company, my bet is not on the consumer division, which is growing, which is fine. My bet is mainly on the printed circuit board, which I will cover, which is this electronic division. So electronic division, यहाँ पे इनके दो verticals हैं. Okay, mainly ये लोग एक printed circuit board that they manufacture. Okay, and there is a bare printed circuit board as well. This one is mostly of a 6-layer printed circuit board, but this is something on the product side to understand. The reason that I liked this division and this company is the printed circuit board market. There is a huge target market to address. We will come back in few slides from now, and to capture that huge market, they are doing a big expansion. Okay, that's my bet. Now if you see this over here, their expansion is going to approximately 84 lakh of a square meter of annual capacity expansion, and the facility expansion is close to 650 crore, and the production timeline of this to go live and commercialize is by Q4 2026. That means in next 8 to 9 months of period. Here also, they are very nicely expanded. Similar management, similar mentality, similar thought process. They have targeted new segments, like they entered into automobile, they entered into smartwatches. They are again entering into IT landscape, defense, industrial energy, and on all of those things as well. Now, here is an information which I got from their con call when I was reading, which I really liked. Now, I want your complete focus for another 2 minutes to understand the potential which is there in the printed circuit board for this particular company. See, what management is here saying is, say, India mein, agar, if the Indian electronic market is 115 billion, out of that, only 4 billion belongs to printed circuit board, which is a small portion, agreed. But that 4 billion is close to 32,000 crore. This is in billion dollar. This is close to 32,000 crore in India. Now, out of this 32,000 crore, only 9%. Okay. So, matlab mota approximately 3,000 crore got manufactured in India, and rest 29,000 crore was imported. So, the first trigger, I will write that trigger over here. So the first trigger is government is importing an anti-dumping duty. What is anti-dumping duty? So anti-dumping duty means if a company is importing products from outside, okay, to Indian market, government applies some duty on that so that their product prices go up and the people buy from the Indian companies which are locally producing it. So that is the first application where there is a trigger of anti-dumping duty, which is increasing the demand of the local players like Amber Enterprises. Secondly, if you look at this information further, so I will erase and rewrite it over here. So the first trigger is the anti-dumping duty. The second trigger I liked in this company is if you look at the growth of the overall market itself. So we saw the current market of India is close to 32,000 crore. So, but the overall, if you see in India, for the next 5 years, electronic consumption will grow to almost, okay, from a current 115 billion market, it will grow to almost of 300 to 400 billion market. So that is a huge growth, firstly, in the electronic segment. But electronic segment में से overall electronic segment में से सिर्फ 3 to 5%, 3 to 4% is only goes into printed circuit board. So अगर इसका भी अगर 4% हम पकड़े, so that is close to they are targeting approximately 4% of this 300 billion. That means 10 billion का इनके पास capital market रहेगा. So अभी currently जो market है this 10 billion का, इसमें से ये लोग expect कर रहे हैं कि because of this anti-dumping duty, इसमें से 50% अगर जो हम करंटली अभी 10% मैन्युफैक्चर करते हैं, 9% जो मैन्युफैक्चर करते हैं इन हाउस विद इन इंडिया, सो अगर 50% इंडिया कर दे और 50% एक्सपोर्ट भी कर दे, सो दिस मार्केट is equivalent to 5 billion. Now, $5 billion is almost equivalent to, okay, so out of this $5 billion, this is almost equivalent to $40 billion. Okay, for 40 billion, sorry, 40,000 crores Indian rupee. Of that, what they are targeting only 10% of market share. Now, 10% of market share, that means 4,000 crore. So even if this company grows their particular revenue from what did we saw a while back, their revenue was, 1 minute, I will show this to you here. We saw their revenue in the electronic business is 2,000, which is expected, they are expecting to grow and capture to it to 4,000. So that means this is almost expected to double. Okay, so even if these segments rise at 5 to 6% and this segment doubles, this company can really do very well. So that's an understanding that we need to understand from this particular market. There is a huge market which is currently available for in India to capture that particular potential. And again, they are starting this particular capex to go live by fourth of quarter. Last division of theirs is railway system. For railway system, we can, it is very clear, there is no brainer. Currently, इनका revenue जो है, which is of 450 crore, and they are currently having an order book clearly of 2000 crore. So we can expect even this 450 crore to go to close to 1000 crore or at least 800 crore, double again from here in next 4 to 5 years of time period. Technically also I like this chart. The reason is technically this was a weekly view of this particular company. So we can see the technically the stock is trading inside this 2 weekly candles. It is consolidating at this particular price point. So it is a good point to accumulate over here, or if we get market correct by any chance and we get an opportunity to buy over here. So it is like a buy on dip kind of an opportunity. But do consult your advisor. This is not a stock recommendation. This is just for an educational purpose, which I am sharing with you. Thank you so much for watching. I shall see you in the next video. Thank you so much.